Hi, my name's Deidre Sirianni, and I'm a life and business strategist. And essentially what I do is I help people step into their purpose and be the most express version of that in all areas of their life so that they can really make the kind of impact that they're here to make. And I love the work that I do. And one of the things that I really have to hold myself accountable to in the work that I do in the space that I'm playing in is developing myself. I constantly need to be developing myself and taking myself to that next level, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and also into alignment with my purpose. So I met Satyan about 6 months ago or so, and I had this crazy intuitive knowing the moment I met him, before I knew anything about him, that he was going to be one of my mentors, or I had a lot to learn from this guy. So that day, as I was going for lunch, as I was at a business training with him and also my business coach at the time, I told him, I'm like, hey, I just want you to know that you're going to be one of my mentors. And I kind of giggled, and it didn't really make sense because he hadn't spoken yet. So it was kind of a weird thing to say to the guy, but I don't really have a filter and I just say things how they are. So fast forward, after lunchtime, he chatted a little bit about what he does, and he brought us through a process. And right away, with that one process that he took us through, I had a big clearing, a big aha, and a massive shift, not just in my mind, as sometimes, we can be very operational up in there, but more in my soul and in the depth of me. So from that one process, I was like, okay, what it is that you do? I want to get involved. I want to learn these tools. So here I am. I just finished my Accelerated Evolution training, a 3-day training, and I'm going to be continuing to develop and getting certified. And the last 3 days have been so amazing. I've done a lot of different trainings. I go to different places in the world to learn different modalities and tools so that I can help my clients in as many ways as I can. And I can honestly say that this training felt so homey. I feel like everyone that's here is a part of my family. And one thing I really appreciate about the training too, the structure, is that this guy and his team, so Satyan and his team, they're so knowledgeable in all these different spaces, and they have the more educational pieces to back up the processes, but we don't really need it. We don't really need it because the processes are so powerful. And so for me, we went through a bunch of different processes, and we practiced on each other. And what came forward for me quite a bit was resistance to clearing something that I had thought that I'd cleared. So I went through a trauma back when I was 19 years old, and I did all the work to clear it. So I didn't feel that I was carrying it around in my cells or my emotions or my thoughts. It just didn't come up anymore. However, recently, within the last year of my life, I finally had the courage to go forward and report the trauma, because a part of this clearing for me and moving forward in order to report it was about, okay, I have moved forward with X, Y, Z, and this is something that I need to do in order to complete it. And so through that process of reporting the trauma that I had been through, I was re-traumatized. And that awareness really came through in one of the processes that we did on releasing trauma. And I had realized that there are all of these elements, all of these pieces within that one trauma that were still showing up in my day-to-day life and my actions and my being and in my body that I had no awareness of. And so when I say this, I'm not saying it lightly, because I have done a lot of deep soul work. I've done a lot of work where I felt that I have had that clearance, but this brought me to a new awareness, a new depth, really going to the root cause of what's coming up, and it gave me tools and process to work around it in a really short amount of time. So as someone who's been through a trauma, I really believe that everyone has been through a trauma. So going through that one process is amazing. And I've had other certifications and other trainings in trauma, and those were powerful too, but this is the next level to that. And this really does clear on all ways and in all of the elements, your thoughts, your emotions, the images you had, everything that is there, and it clears it from being in your future. So I was really impressed by that, and also with my own learning and my own processing on myself and having that new awareness of where I am and how I can shift in a moment and bring that forward into my life. So that's just one process that I'm talking about. I could talk for days about this training. If you're interested in jumping into Accelerated Evolution or learning more, I'm more than happy for you to reach out to me by email. So I'm sure that they can maybe put my email below or my website or something. I'd be more than happy to connect with you and see how it could potentially serve you, your clients, your community, your personal life, and your business. But there's so many different processes to it. And as a coach and someone who, for me, within the last year, it's really come full circle to me that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to play full on. That's one of the rules that I live by. I'm all about creating rules that empower you. And so one of the rules that that's been really coming forward for me or knowing is that even though I have been developing myself in so many ways, I'm not at my top level. I know that there's a new level. And so if you're watching this right now, there's a new level for you in all areas of your life. And for me, this was the calling for me to take myself to that next level and learn from someone and a team of people who are the best at what they do in the world. And so for me, as being in that space, I know that I'm going to be fully supported as I continue with my certification and I continue to work with them to take it to that next level in the mastermind and the master coach training. So I'm super excited. I've never had so much ease and relaxation in a training that I've taken before. A lot of trainings, certifications, and other modalities that I've learned about, I've felt a bit of a separation from the person who is facilitating. I felt a separation from the facilitator and the group of I am right and you need to learn from me. And there is no separation in this environment, and that's really powerful on its own. And I really do feel like all of us are masters at what we do, and we're all here to support each other through this process. So if you're looking for a training that can help you take your life to the next level, I highly recommend Accelerated Evolution. It's kind of mind-blowing, not gonna lie. And I can say that I'm not easily impressed with trainings anymore because I've done so many and I'm like, oh yeah, that was good, I got something from it. And there's usually one or two things that I get from trainings, a little gem that I'll use in my business and life. But this, I really do feel like I can not only take one, I can take all pieces of it and really the community, the feel, and learn so much more from these people and what they're creating. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. So if you have questions, if you want to learn more, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. But if you're ready to level up physically, mentally, emotionally, take your business to the next level, be more conscious, more aware of who you are at your core, and bring that forward into the world, I think that this is an amazing training, and it's really a family. I don't feel separate from anyone in the group, and I really feel a wholeness and a holistic approach to this training that I can't quite articulate. So that is what I have to say about Accelerated Evolution. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. I am not getting paid to do this testimonial. I just feel called to share because it's been a really transformational experience for me, and it's really pushing me to my next level. And one of my big things is I want to help other people get to the next level. So if you're watching and you're feeling called, go ahead, take action, and sign yourself up. And hopefully I'll see you at an upcoming training. Sending you lots of love. Mwah.